Hello guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Free Amazon Ask Luke. This was a fantastic question. They asked if David Moyes got West Ham to the Champions League, would he be considered the greatest manager in West Ham's history? I had to do a lot of research, just to get the win percentages, check what all managers have won, because there's, as much as I know when we won the FA Cups and stuff, it's nice to know what else happened around those times, these managers' win percentages and all stuff like that. So, excuse me if I have to refer to my notes a couple of times, but this video did require a lot of research and I appreciate the question. I'm going to only go back, there's a couple of managers before Greenwood and I think his name was Painter or something like that, had a really good win percentage, but I'm just going to go from Greenwood, okay, what I call the glory years. Okay, so Ron Greenwood, guys, had a 35% wins, okay, at West Ham. Like I say, many would consider this the glory years and, the start of, the West Ham way as, as it was meant to be played. There's no coincidence that, a lot of the team in that period, were legends. They're absolute icons of world football. Bobby Moore, Jeff Hurst, Martin Peters. We won a Cup Winners' Cup in that time, our only European trophy. We won an FA Cup under Greenwood. And, a lot of that team went on to win the World Cup. It must have been an absolute joy as a fan to be a West Ham fan in the 60s and see, such wonderful, football, to see us winning things, being with a real shout most of the time. And, when football actually meant a lot as well, there was a real connection with the fans. The West Ham players would go to the Black Lion after the game and, meet with the fans, and it was a working man's game. Like I say, Greenwood, started it. He gave us our first trophy. Obviously we got to the FA Cup final before that with the White Horse final, but he broke the ceiling. He was the first one to deliver a trophy to those boys. Obviously, we'd won the second division title, I think, a few times and stuff like that, but actually like a major big trophy when the FA Cup really, really meant something, and give you a real, statue and platform, and the Cup Winners' Cup as well, like. That's just amazing, and it was 3 years in a row. Obviously, that Bobby appeared there, but yeah, West Ham were there. A good lot in the 60s. So Ron is definitely, he has to be in the conversation as one of the best managers to ever manage West Ham. After him, obviously, mostly regarded, but for people like my dad's generation and stuff like that, Mr. Johnny Lyle, 39% wins. Also has the most wins as West Ham manager with 277. Won the FA Cup twice, finished third in the league, still our best ever finish, and probably, even that won't get broken this year. Cup Winners' Cup runners up as well. A real, again, another great time. If you're talking like a sort of a second coming, you had Ron Greenwood era and then you had the Lyle era, which again was just as good by all accounts. Obviously League Cup runners up as well. Listen, Johnny Lyle has to be, he's top two, if not number one. It's a tough one between generations, I would assume. To win 2 FA Cups, to be runner-up of Cup Winners' Cup, to deliver third in the league, I think we only lost the title by 4 points. Liverpool and Everton above us. To have had that season of finishing third, considering that's probably the most talked about season by West Ham fans of a certain generation, and I was only literally just born when that season happened. So yeah, I'm very envious of that season. So Johnny Lyle obviously has to be in that conversation. I'm going to go through nearly all the managers, guys, but it's just interesting because obviously you have to have this debate. After Lyle, obviously Lou Macari, 36% wins, 10th foul promotion bid. Not much else can be said about him, really. He came in as a disciplinarian and it didn't really work out for him. After that, West Ham legend, icon, stand named after him, Mr. Billy Bonds. 43% win percentage, which is fantastic. Got us promoted. He was there obviously during the infamous bond scheme. You know, a tough time for the club. You know, an icon of the club. Did what he could. He got us into the Premier League, and we'll all be forever grateful for him for that. Do you know what I mean? Absolute legend. I believe he was League Cup runner-up as well. Semi-finalist. Obviously, the infamous Tony Gale one. So yeah, Billy did what he had to do at the time, you know, and has laid a foundation for us to get into the Premier League. So we have to be grateful for that. Obviously, after that was Harry, 37 win percentage, got us up to 5th. One of the best seasons I've ever had as a West Ham fan. Gave us some of the, you know, best footballers that we've seen in a West Ham shirt of modern times. Paolo Di Canio, Trevor Sinclair. Fantastic with youth players as well. Lampard, Rio, Joe, Glenn Johnson. Won the FA Cup. Not the FA Cup, sorry. Intertoto Cup. I wish we won the FA Cup. Intertoto Cup. You know, that got us qualified for Europe. One of, you know, the first time in ages and ages and ages. First time in sort of my lifetime. Great nights in Mets. Great nights at Manchester United. Yeah, I think the only thing with Harry, you know, is I think that team should have won something. I do. A League Cup, an FA Cup. You know, that was a fantastic side, you know. To finish 5th, you know, if we finish 5th this year, it's a magnificent achievement. To finish 5th then as well is a truly remarkable achievement. And we played such wonderful football. We were such a, you know, a dynamic, wonderful team to watch. In terms of style of play, you know, under Harry sometimes was just some of the best football that, you know, West Ham have ever produced. So yeah, Harry, he's not number one obviously, but he did give me some of the best times with Paolo and stuff like that. After Harry, Glenn Roeder, God rest his soul, 31 win percentage, got us up to 7th. You know, it was a good season, that first season he had. Obviously he had the infamous falling outs with Paolo, and it just didn't work out for him. You know, that team should never have got relegated. You know, record points total still for a team to be relegated for. It's a shame with Glenn. I don't think he was, you know, I don't think he was fully ready for the job, and he's more of a coach than a manager. I think if he would have been West Ham coach or carried on his coaching, he would have been fantastic. But as a manager, again, you're in the limelight, you have to take the flak. After that, honourable mention, it goes without saying, purely because he has the best win percentage for a West Ham manager, is Sir Trev. Sir Trev has a 64 win percentage. It's ridiculous. 14 games, 9 wins. He nearly kept us up that year. Obviously, with Glenn had his bad brain injuries. Trev's a ledge. You know, he weren't manager long enough to, you know, be anywhere in the top of the list. But listen, when he was manager, he galvanised that West Ham team. He was so close, and then obviously took over for a few games in the Championship as well. He's an absolute legend. He's probably one of the guys that, you know, I wish he would have been manager for a little while, just to have seen what he could have done. But yeah, so close to keeping us up that year, and we will love. I'll never forget John Motson saying on the commentary. Obviously, John Motson worked with Trevor a lot during World Cups and commentating and stuff like that. Saying, I've never heard Trevor swear in my life. And then he was on the touchline in the Man City game, absolutely swearing like a trooper. That just shows, you know, the sort of gentleman that Sir Trev is. After Trev, Pards. Again, some of the best football we've ever played. You know, one of the hardest teams to beat when he first got us back up. You know, we had this fantastic record of coming back from behind. Got us to an FA Cup final for our first time in absolute donkeys. Only to be beaten, you know, in the best FA Cup final of modern era, the Gerrard final. Also, you know, he got us promoted. Took 2 times, to be fair to him, you know, but we got 3 visits to Cardiff in a row, didn't we? Yeah, it's just off the field stuff, and, you know, him as a man, I don't think he was, you know, the nicest man in the world, allegedly. But Pards did play some lovely football, you know, and he developed a really good team there. I liked how he played under Pardew. Obviously, Tevez and that come in, and it went really downhill. Loads of rumours of stuff, like I say, off the pitch, but I liked him. I think he was young and dynamic when he was first at West Ham, Pardew. Yeah, it's just a shame the way it ended for him. After that was Curbs. Curbs come in, great escape, saved us. Got Tevez playing. 39% wins. Finishes though 15th and 10th, you know, a typical sort of Choltony style, you know. Kerb's coming at a weird time as well. Obviously, the takeover from the Eggman, Gudmundsson, or however you pronounce it. And obviously, the Icelandic banks went bankrupt. And then in comes Sullivan and Gold. So that was a funny time. He wasted quite a bit of money, to be honest with you. Lundberg, Dyer, etc. But he did bring in one of the best West Ham players of, you know, recent times, Scott Parker, you know, 3-time Hammer of the Year. So, yeah, you know, Pardew did what he did. He kept us up in a great escape, you know. So, some good memories there. After that was obviously Gianfranco. 9th finish and a 17th finish. One of the worst percentages, I believe he has the worst percentage, 28.7. Too young, too inexperienced for the West Ham job. Played some okay football with him, you know. Colton Cole, he brought in Colton Cole, scored 12 goals in his first season. But yeah, he's just a little bit inexperienced, Gianfranco. After that, Overhand Grant, Mr. I don't do anything apart from sit on the bench like this. 31 win percentage, relegated. Poor. You know, he had no in-game management. By all means, he's a real, you know, a good football man, etc. But in terms of managing West Ham, you know, no, just wasn't to be. Got us to the semi-final of the League Cup, though. Obviously, went out to Birmingham. He was a good cup manager, though, wasn't he? You know, he got Chelsea to the Champions League final, got Portsmouth to the FA Cup final. But no, just not good enough. Just not inspiring. You know, like I say, he used to sit on the bench like that. Like don't inspire a team. Like he had no. I couldn't imagine he went into training and used to rollick the players. After that, Mr. Allardyce, Sam Allardyce, you know, real Marmite manager. I didn't like him. I don't. You know, he got us up. I'll give him credit for that. First time, got one a real great day out at Wembley as well. I was there. A 10th finish, a 12th finish, Europa League for the fair play. 37 win percentage. Awful football at times. And then the times we did play the good football, when we was in the top 4 at Christmas with Sacco and Valencia, you know, playing some really nice football, Downing in the number 10 role. He changed it. He changed it at that Chelsea game. You know, I don't think he played Alex Song, Andy Carroll and Kevin Nolan back in. And it just killed the season. You know, I think that season, if he would have stuck with Valencia, Sacco, Downing, Alex Song, you know, we would have been talking about him in the same sort of thing as we are with Moyes now. I think they would have gone on and maybe done some really good things because we looked fantastic that first half of the season. It just completely dwindled off. Slav, 7th. Last season at Upton Park, you know, will always live in my memory. And Europa League qualification as well. 37 win percentage, 7th. Give us Dimitri Payet for a year. Played some amazing football that year as well. You know, I never feared anyone that season. Again, I think that team, should have been pushing Champions League, and they really were until the last bit. That's what I'm not hoping for Moyes this year. In terms of success, you know, obviously he didn't have no success, but we did see some amazing stuff under him. You know, we was blessed with Dimitri Payet. We really, really was. After that, obviously Pellegrini, 37 win percentage, 10th in the league. You know, massive spend on players. Haller, Anderson, Yarmolenko, Roberto, the dreaded Roberto, you know, the one that obviously inevitably finished him. In the first season, we did finish 10th though. You know, Gold and Sullivan will give you the mantra that we called for him. We didn't. I believe most fans were calling for like Rafa Benitez or someone like that at the time. First season was good. First season, you know, was quite good, quite exciting. You know, Felipe Anderson was really good that first season. Obviously, you know, helped with the emergence of Rice a bit as well. But yeah, that second season, you know, the stubbornness to stick with Roberto during that time ultimately cost him his job. Many argue, you know, that he was finished because he had gone to China. And you know, he didn't really have the bit between his teeth or anything to prove anymore. You know, he had won the league with Manchester City. He had nothing to prove really. Yeah, and I just don't think he was the right manager for West Ham. Obviously, between there, obviously Moyes came in and saved us as well, which again, he did what he had to do, came in and saved us. Yeah, and then obviously, yeah, like I say, Pellegrini come in. And then for David Moyes, so far this season, I'm not counting his first spell. His first spell was only 29% win percentage, but again, that was a team battling relegation. He's come in, again, to save us from relegation. You know, bought in Soucek, bought in Bowen. 44 win percentage. Is he the best manager? Will he be the best manager if we got Champions League this year? He'd be in the conversation, but he wouldn't be the number one. To achieve Champions League now with such a thin squad, off the back of a relegation season, you've got to say that that's incredible, you know, and he may well win manager of the season as well. You know, Pep's done wonderful things and that Man City team is fantastic, but you know, if David Moyes gets West Ham into fourth in the next 4 games, it's incredible. You know, it's our highest finish in a Premier League season. He's broke our Premier League win record, obviously, on Monday night with that win, with 17. Hopefully that goes on, you know, becomes like 19, maybe 20. Broke our away record as well in the Premier League. But I don't think you can be in the conversation, like fully in the conversation, until you've actually achieved it. If he achieves it, yes. But there's only 2 people for me, mate, and I didn't even get the privilege of seeing these guys work. But unless you've got a trophy on your record, like Johnny Lyall and Ronnie Greenwood, you know, you've achieved. You have got the medal. You have got that cup sitting in the cabinet. You know, there's a reason, you know, these guys are so lauded over by the fans of that generation. So, yeah, even if he does get to the Champions League, he'll be the greatest West Ham manager of the Premier League era, but he will not be in that conversation as the greatest West Ham manager of all time until he gives us another cup. You know, we need an FA Cup. We need a League Cup, for example. But yeah, nothing to take away from it. Magnificent achievement if he does do it. But yeah, for me, you know, it's Ron Greenwood, 1 or 2, either way round, you know, either way. But yeah, what a great question, guys. Let me know what you think on that. As I say, guys, it's only an opinion. It's an opinion, guys, yeah? So don't jump on me like, oh, what does Luke know? Yeah, it's my opinion. So yeah, until next time, guys, keep your questions coming in. Absolutely love this show. Please hit the subscribe button as well. We want to get to 4,000. Until next time, come on your irons. Keep believing. Let's go.